You wake up. Something is wrong. Your head pounds. Your limbs ache. You cannot stand without the world spinning. Outside, the tribe is preparing to hunt. They need everyone. But today, you cannot go. No sick leave. No hospital. No medicine cabinet. No safety net of any kind. Just you, the ground, and whatever your tribe decides to do next. What happened next reveals something profound about early human nature. First, how common was serious illness in the ancient world? Extremely common. Ancient humans faced threats modern people barely think about. A cut from a flint tool, an infected animal bite, a broken bone from a fall, intestinal parasites from contaminated water, respiratory infections from cave smoke, dental abscesses, arthritis, childbirth complications, all without any modern treatment. Every ancient human alive today's ancestor survived serious illness at some point, which means ancient human groups had to have a way of dealing with sick members. And the evidence of what they actually did is remarkable. The most important finding, ancient humans cared for their sick, consistently, over vast spans of time. This is not a modern value. It is an ancient human universal. The evidence starts with bones. Specifically, bones that show they should have killed the person but didn't. Shanidar 1, a Neanderthal found in Iraq, dated to 45,000 years ago. His skeleton tells a devastating story. Crushed right eye socket, blind in one eye, withered right arm, amputated below the elbow, probably from birth or early childhood, severe arthritis, healed fractures, a leg injury that would have caused a permanent limp. This individual could not hunt, could barely walk, could not use one arm at all, and they survived to approximately 40 years old. Ancient old age. In a world that should have killed them decades earlier, someone kept them alive. This is not a small thing. Feeding and caring for someone who cannot contribute fully costs the group. It costs food, attention, energy, things ancient groups had in limited supply. And yet, they did it anyway. Shanidar 1 is not unique. The archaeological record is full of individuals who should not have survived. A 1.7 million year old Homo erectus in Georgia with no teeth survived on soft food someone prepared. 1.7 million years ago, before our species existed, someone was already caring for the helpless. So what actually happened in practical terms when someone got sick? The sick person stayed at camp, while the healthy members went to work. In hunter-gatherer groups, division of labor meant not everyone did the same task every day. Someone always stayed behind. The old, the injured, the nursing mothers, the sick. This meant the sick were never alone. They were surrounded by others who could help. Water was brought. Food was shared. Someone kept watch through the night. This sounds simple, but in the ancient world, staying hydrated while ill was critical and difficult. Dehydration from fever or diarrhea killed quickly without clean water and attention. Now, who was the primary caregiver? Who took the lead when someone was seriously ill? Almost certainly older women. This is not assumption. It is supported by evidence from modern traditional societies. Older women in hunter-gatherer groups hold the most accumulated knowledge about illness and plants. They have seen the most illnesses, remembered what worked, remembered what killed. The grandmother hypothesis. Older women provide crucial survival knowledge beyond childbearing years. Humans are one of very few species where females survive long after reproductive age. This is why. Now, what treatments did the ancient caregiver actually use? Heat. Always heat first. For pain. For fever. For infected wounds. Warm stones wrapped in hide. Sitting close to fire. The oldest pain management available. Modern medicine confirms heat therapy works. For muscle pain. For joint pain. For fever management. Medicinal plants. Chosen from generations of accumulated knowledge. Willow bark for pain and fever. Yarrow to slow bleeding. Honey to prevent wound infection. All three confirmed by modern science as genuinely effective. Wound cleaning. With clean water. And sometimes with specific plant juices. Immobilization of broken bones. Splinting with straight sticks and plant fiber binding. Archaeological evidence shows healed fractures aligned correctly. Someone knew how to set bones. Now, what about the psychological dimension? Being sick is not just physical. Ancient humans experiencing serious illness faced something modern people do not. Complete uncertainty about what was happening to their body, and whether they would survive. This is where the shaman entered, not as a superstition, as a psychological technology. The shaman gave the illness a name, a cause, a story. This is not meaningless. The placebo effect is real, documented, measurable. Belief that you will recover activates real biological processes, reduces cortisol, supports immune function. The shaman also performed ritual, chanting, drumming, ceremony around the sick person. And crucially, the whole community participated. The sick person was not isolated. They were the center of community attention, surrounded by people who cared. Modern research shows social support dramatically improves health outcomes, especially for serious illness. Ancient humans had intensive social support built into their illness response automatically. Now, what if the illness was contagious? What did ancient groups do then? Ancient humans did practice isolation, but differently from modern quarantine. The sick person moved slightly apart from the main sleeping area, still visible, still in communication, not abandoned, not expelled, just carefully separated. Evidence from modern traditional societies shows this pattern is universal and ancient. Now, what happened when someone was sick for a very long time? Weeks, months. The group absorbed the cost, because the alternative was worse. Every person in a group of 50 was genuinely valuable. Their loss had immediate consequences. A skilled hunter who could not hunt for 2 weeks was worth feeding for 2 weeks, because when they recovered, they would hunt again. The investment paid off. This is not just altruism. It is intelligent group economics. Now, what about death? What happened when the illness was terminal? Ancient humans did not leave their dying alone. The evidence for this is consistent. Careful burials, grave goods, flowers, ochre, signs of grief and ceremony. People who were dying were talked to, touched, kept company until the end. This is palliative care. 300,000 years old, before the word existed. Now, what does all of this tell us about ancient human nature? First, compassion is ancient, not a civilized value, an evolutionary one. Groups that cared for their sick members survived better than groups that abandoned them. Evolution selected for the caring groups. Compassion literally evolved into us. Second, ancient human medicine was more sophisticated than we give it credit for. They could not cure everything, but they significantly improved survival odds with what they had. Third, the ancient sick room looked nothing like modern illness. It was community, noise, people, stories, touch, ritual, everything modern hospitals remove. And some research suggests those things, community, touch, ritual, genuinely helped recovery. The ancient human who woke up too sick to hunt was not facing that alone. Their tribe had already closed around them, already sharing the weight, because that is what ancient human tribes did, not out of obligation, out of something deeper. If this made you think differently about where human kindness actually comes from, that is exactly what this channel is here for.